Hello once again and welcome back to another sketchbook session. I was watching the previous video like a good minute ago and I realized I didn't actually introduce myself. So, way to go. So hello, I go by Len here on the internet. I am an artist, fellow internet dweller, a scribbler occasionally. I have a small jewelry shop on Etsy and I'm currently working on putting my art on there as well. Also working on a snail mail club. So introduction out of the way. Last video, I said that I would make an outline. So I do have a script I'm kind of following because I was fumbling a lot with my words and I'm not too comfortable yet with voicing out talking to myself, because when I talk to myself I usually just do it in my head and that's much easier to do. Anyways, so I do have a script that I'm following, and for this video I do want to ramble about style. On this page that you're seeing right now, I started with just using the Ohuhu markers to just scribble some colors on the page just to get the initial fear of a blank page out of the way, which really helps. I find anyways, it really helps break the illusion that I'm going to mess up the page before I even start. So why not mess the page with some good color? And I'm sorry about, I don't know what I did to the setting of the camera, but there's this highlight that's happening every time I press the page down. If you can see from like the corner of the video, like some halo is coming out. I mean, I'm watching it and so it's kind of distracting me, so I'm sorry if that's going to be bothersome. Yeah, so I just scribbled some colors using the Ohuhu markers, and this pen that I'm using I found on Amazon and it's really nice. It's kind of like a gel pen, but it dries really quick and it doesn't smudge at all. I did go into this day not knowing really what to draw, but I wanted to continue the theme of flowers and plants and greenery from the previous page. So I decided to add some figures to come up with some potential illustrations. I'll probably end up scanning this and then fixing it up on my iPad, and I don't know if I want to keep the colors. Maybe I'll use the color scheme to actually color the pages, or I'll just clean up the lines. I don't know. I'll get to it when I get to it. Okay, I was going to talk about style and my mind just went woof and out from a different direction. So the video is obviously sped up, but I'm actually drawing really slowly, much slower than I normally would using when I sketch with pencils. With pencils, I can sketch really fast. That just comes from figure drawing back in like college and school and stuff. Slowing down really allows me to be more deliberate with my lines, and I'm also slowing down in result of using a more permanent tool like this pen, because obviously I can't erase, and I think just knowing that is making me focus on the sketching and letting each line be purposeful. So yeah, so the style that you see here with the figures, it is a style that I'm sort of developing. They're not far off from my old style, and I am trying to develop a more cohesive style. I don't even really want to say that how I drew before is my old style. because that was just how I naturally drew in terms of where I was skill wise. So I think it's more accurate to say that I'm evolving my old style like a Pokemon. And sometimes with style, it's not about how you find it, it's just about improving your current one. And there's a lot of video about how to find your style and what to do with what to do and what to practice and how to practice finding your style and how to develop a style. But if you want to find your style naturally, you'll just have to keep drawing and building your mileage. Mileage is just how long or how much time you've put into drawing art, and that includes practice. But yeah, I think you just get better with time and a lot of patience, like lots and lots of patience. Definitely a lot of patience. Because when you're just naturally drawing or just starting out, there's such a huge learning curve with how to translate the ideas and the images that you are seeing in your head, or maybe not seeing in your head, but the ideas that you want to portray, and translating that into an image. Your eyes will always be better in seeing mistakes and seeing inaccuracies than your hand skill is in drawing. Does that make sense? With practice, you will eventually catch up with your eye in terms of your hand skills. I feel like I'm at a current level where I can reproduce ideas and designs that I see in my head with more accuracy than I ever had in the past. And that's not all the time, of course. It differs day by day, mood to mood. So if I have an idea for an illustration, I can say that I have the skills now to be able to execute it well. I'd say close to like 75%, maybe 80 on a really good day. And I feel like 2-3 years ago, the percentage was probably 40%, at best 60, I want to say. But those were far and few in between. So nowadays, I don't have the fear that I'll start a drawing and feel like I can't emulate what I want it to look like, because I think I'm at that point in my art skills where my hand skills, my drawing skills have just caught up with my eyes, and at the same time my eyes and my brain, along with my muscle memory, feels like they've joined a team together. That's what I'm going to choose to think how it is. You know, sometimes they get along and sometimes they don't, and that's just the way things are, and I don't fight it, and I don't beat myself up when a drawing doesn't turn out the way I've visualized it, because I do have the skills now to turn it into something that I can be happy with. Style in general is just another form of language, and finding it is basically just you learning and knowing how to explain said language. Does that make sense? And like any language, it takes lots and lots of practice, lots and lots of patience, and not giving up, basically. So shapes are a vital form for stylization. And if you want to develop a style, or if you want a better style than what you currently have, start with simple shapes. And I'm talking like circles, squares, triangles, diamond shapes, and just see how much you can combine and how you can manipulate those shapes into a language, into a design that makes sense for you. So, to improve, should you be drawing every day? I personally, I'm in the boat of not really believing that you should be drawing every day. One, because if you're not a student and you do have a job other than art, it's unrealistic to expect yourself to draw every day. And some people can do it. I certainly have tried. Like a couple of years back, I implemented like I should draw something every day kind of rule. And long story short, it didn't end well because I felt more stressed, and it became like a chore as the days went past, because I do have a day job, and sometimes that just takes a toll on you for the whole day. And you'll come home, and the last thing I wanted to do was sit down and engage with my brain and have my hands drawing for an uncertain amount of time when I've just literally worked for like 9-10 hours and everything hurts. I've socialized too much for the day, I've moved too much for the day, and I just want to be still. So for those who have a day job that's physically demanding, emotionally taxing, no, you don't have to draw every day. But you do have to draw some days. And you have to do it when you actually want to. And not because you're forcing yourself to. Because when you're forcing yourself to do something, you're basically training yourself to hate drawing that way. And I remember it got to a point where, when somebody tells you to go and clean your room and you had already planned to do so that day, or you already planned to do so literally in 5 minutes, but because somebody told you to, now you don't want to. And that's what I felt like. The construction is going. I think they're back on their lunch break. There's construction going on right now. I was hoping I'd have more time, but I don't know if you can hear it, and I hope it doesn't get picked up by the mic here, but it has been annoying drilling and hammering since this morning at like 9 a.m. Okay, I'm gonna wait until there's a clear silence to continue the audio. Yeah, so now you don't want to. And that happened to me when I implemented the draw everyday rule a couple of years back. It felt like I was putting so much pressure, and it felt like I was guilt tripping myself into doing this thing that I clearly love to do, but the voice in my head just not kind about it. And I think that was the result of imposter syndrome and past things that happened. But anyway, drawing is such a personal journey, so I could be talking about shapes and all of these things, and you could just, and someone could be listening to this thinking the complete opposite. And that's fine. That's fine. With all the ramblings aside, there's only really one really important thing, that you just don't give up. But yeah, just keep on going. Your skills will eventually come through. Just don't give up. Okay, that's kind of all that I had in the outline here. I don't really think I have anything else to say. But we'll see what happens when I edit this. I might just add some stuff in between things. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the sketchbook session, and hopefully I made sense. And if you guys have any revelations about style and developing style and how to achieve style, and is it even really important, I'd love to hear about it. But until next video, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Alright, bye. Oh god, they're back.